Good morning and a happy Monday morning to all my beautiful and wonderful subscribers. I promised this week would be very controversial. If you believe in freedom, if you believe in the freedom of speech, the freedom to explore history without legal restraint, then welcome, most welcome. Unfortunately, we live in a time when our freedom is under threat. Our freedom is denied in the name of tolerance, in the name of political correctness. And therefore we have those in power who uses this in order to disguise historical truths, unpleasant historical truths. I remember a story some time ago when a black opera singer who tried to join, I can't remember whether he was trying to join the Philharmonic Orchestra in London. I can't remember the story in detail, but he tried so hard and the British would not embrace him. Guess who embraced him? Racist Germany, Nazi Germany. I was quite shocked because we've been brainwashed to believe that when you think of Germans, you think of swastikas, you automatically think of the Jews. You don't think of gypsies, you don't even think of black people, you don't think of brunettes, you know, or the Holocaust. All you think about is Jews. Nobody else, no other victims. You don't think of the alleged victims, homosexuals. All you think about in this context is Jews. So in this capacity, we are programmed by some elite, some secret brotherhood to hate Germans, to perceive the Germans in a very bad light. What's interesting, I note, whenever this propaganda to hate the Germans is raised, if Jewish blood is not good enough, then for good measure, for token measure, then they bring in the blacks in the Holocaust. Notably, the Jewish had reparation for their part in the Holocaust. Black people, gays, brunettes, gypsies has not received a penny. And it's nothing to do with the numbers. Look, if someone dies in a house fire set by someone and 2 people die, they get compensation. If an aeroplane is targeted by terrorists or whatever, and the air pilot was found to be negligent because it didn't carry out proper security, the family get compensation. Nobody says, well, you know something, only a handful of you were killed, everybody else got saved. No, it doesn't go by numbers. But somehow this says, well, more Jews were killed than anybody else. Never the injury capacity. The Jews, the homosexuals, the blacks, the brunettes, you know, all these people in the Holocaust, in the flames, all were victims. But they now start to play the number game. The number game, well, you know, etc. Well, let's go into the history of Africa. 100 million Africans were killed at the hand of the British and the American. Where's the compensation for that? The Jews also had African slavery. They were behind it. Where's the compensation for that? So you see the double standard that's going on. Anyway, I sidetrack slightly. This black opera singer, he went to Germany Hitler's Germany, and they loved him. They embraced him. They couldn't love him enough. This is Adolf Hitler's, Germany couldn't love him enough. They embraced him and kissed him up. But what shocked me? What shocked me? I remember I was on the train years ago. I was brainwashed. Like you're being brainwashed. I was brainwashed. You gotta set your mind free sometimes. I was brainwashed. I sat on the train and I was talking to a black guy who was an engineer who worked in Germany. And me being silly and untutored at the time, I said to him, I was obviously young, my voice was soft. I said to him, what's your experience in Germany? They must be calling you this, they must be calling you that, they must be racial abusing you. I was brainwashed. I didn't travel. So all I did was listen to BBC News, that paedophile scandal, that paedophile channel. Why BBC News was my guru. And this black man turned around and said to me, do you know I've experienced more racism in Britain and America than in Germany? And I went dizzy. I wasn't expecting that. I was like this. When your ideology is being attacked, you go dizzy. You start seeing stars, like Mike Tyson gave you a woo. You start seeing stars. I'm like this. What's going on? My ideology, my mindset is under attack. And this beautiful black couple, one Rastafarian and the other black woman, obviously, beautiful black couple, very enlightened. They go to Germany and they said the people love them up. They said to me, don't rely on the media. The media want you to believe that the Germans are this and the Germans are that because this is what the Jews have done. This is too much for me. This is too much. These are black couple going to Germany for their holidays continually. And yet I believed that the Germans were this horrible Nazi party. What many people don't realize is that the Jews were looked after in Germany. I know this is controversial because you're not allowed to speak the truth, but I don't give a damn. They were looked after in Germany. They mingled and like I mingled this beautiful flower. They mingled and with the locals, and they had good businesses. But you know something? Anybody who don't believe me, I'll send you a link. This video I was going to upload it, but it's too long. It's a 2-hour video. It'll take forever to upload. The Jews sold them out. The Jews sold them out. Can you imagine? I come to your house to live. I come to your house to live. And your wife has got shapely legs, and that's my fetish. I love beautiful legs. Your wife has beautiful legs and nice tight backside. You feed me, look after me, give me a nice bed. And what do I do to repay you? I sleep with your wife. After you give me a good home to look after me, do you think, my God, what an ungrateful devil? You'd want to kill me? I'm not justifying the Holocaust. I'm just saying you'd want to kill me for sleeping with your wife, for betraying your trust. Betraying your trust. And that's what the Jews did. Let me give an example of the treachery what the Jews did. Oh God, I can't remember this history. Somebody who knows this will confirm what I'm saying now. Britain and America was at war. And what happened was the Jews were in the middle of it. The Jews wanted to get Britain was at war, and the Jews did a deal with America to get America involved in the war if the Jews got something out of it. And that's the reason why Britain and America joined the war against the Germans, because the Jews were behind the scenes coaxing him. I'll tell you what, to Britain, I will get American involved in the war if you do something for me. They went to America. I tell you what, if you do something for me, I'll get Britain. And this is how they, you know, Britain and America joined alliance. Anybody wants to call me a liar, I'll send you a link. Challenge me and I'll send you a link. To upload the video will be too much, I'll send you a link. It's a very long one. And this is how the Jews has been behind the scene. And I'm wondering, where else is this conspiracy, this plot, this wickedness has played a part in black history? And why black people? Everybody says Hitler was horrible to Jesse Owens. He was horrible. He hated him. This is what we were told to believe. They want black people to hate the Germans as well. If the Jews hate the Germans, so too black people. The homosexuals use our cause to further themselves, and now the Jews use our cause. And here's the evidence.
Hi, my name is ID Uyo, and welcome to another edition of the Olympic Moment. Jesse Owens will be remembered as one of the greatest Olympians of all time, not just on the field of athletics, but for his symbolism off of it. At the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Owens stole the show, winning 4 gold medals and setting 4 Olympic records. According to Olympic lore, German Chancellor Adolf Hitler refused to congratulate Owens because of his race did not align with Hitler's theories of racial supremacy. Nice story, but that's not exactly what happened. Here's what did happen. The first 2 medal winners of opening day at the 1936 Berlin Games were both German. Hans Volk in the shot put and Tilly Flasher in the javelin. After winning gold, they climbed the stands to where the Führer's box was, and they were publicly congratulated by Adolf Hitler. Now, the final event of opening day was the men's high jump, and the last 2 finalists were 2 African Americans, Cornelius Johnson and David Albritton. Johnson ended up winning the event, but 5 minutes before the medals were to be awarded, Hitler left the stadium. Now, German officials claimed that darkness and threat of rain, those were the reasons why he left, but not everybody was buying it. The next morning, the president of the International Olympic Committee, Henri de Ballier-Latour, sent a message to Hitler at breakfast, letting him know that if he were going to congratulate one medal winner in public, he would need to congratulate all the medal winners in public. Hitler chose the latter, congratulating medal winners privately in an area just behind the box out of public view. For his part, Owens claims Hitler acknowledged him actually, saying, "When I passed the chancellor, he rose and waved his hand at me, and I waved back." Surprisingly, Owens claims it was US President Franklin Roosevelt that gave him the shaft, saying, "Hitler didn't snub me, it was our own president who snubbed me. The president didn't even send me a telegram. Hitler was the man of the hour." Now that's shocking. So if anybody got the shaft by Hitler, it was Cornelius Johnson, who saw Hitler leave the stadium rather than congratulate him after he won the high jump on opening day. Less than 2 years after the closing ceremony of those Berlin Games, Hitler's tanks would roll across Europe in the opening salvos of World War II. Owens would never compete in another Olympic Games again, and he died in 1980 at the age of 66 of lung cancer. Ironically, following his passing, the West German government named a street leading to the Olympic Stadium Jesse Owens Strasse. And that's really what happened between Owens and Hitler. My name is ID Uyo. Thank you so much for watching this edition of the Olympic Moment.
Sorry, I was crying. I was in tears. It was so emotional. Naming a street after Jesse Owens. I was brainwashed. I was brainwashed. Can you imagine? But wait for the shock. Get some whiskey and come back. You're going to need it. Get some booze, some liquor, and come back. You're going to need it. Jesse Owens says that when he was staying in Germany, they treat him like royalty. Gave him the best rooms, the best hotels. But when he went to America, they treat him like shit. Look, don't take my word for it. Read his biography. I didn't write it. I wasn't around. I couldn't have written it. I wasn't around. Unless I'm a bird flying. He said in his biography that the American government, Roosevelt wouldn't even acknowledge him. Ignored him. He was lovely Hitler. So somebody has to ask, who is behind this blacks and German hatred? Who is behind it? It's interesting that whenever somebody wants to hate somebody, you have to, it's like how bullies work. They work in a pack, like blood, like a bloodhound. They can't do it on their own. They're gonna go like a pack of dogs. And it's interesting that to hate the Germans, to have a kind of official attack on the Germans, you need to bring some other group in to give your group or your cause respectability. Like the LGBT use the blacks to make their cause look civilized. The Jews use black people. And it's interesting how the Jews run Hollywood, how they portray black people. As long as you balance the Germans, the Jews, and black people. As long as the Jews, struggling, something, we can't get our cause across. Look what the Germans did to black people. What did he do? Shall we mention the British Holocaust of what they did during the African slave trade? No, always Jewish, always this Zionism nonsense that we have to put up with for the rest of our goddamn lives. The memorial, what about African Memorial in London, in America? No, or we get some back-end museum in Liverpool. You can hardly see it. Let me see if I can post you the link.
4 gold medals, not exactly what Hitler with his Aryan ideals had wanted. I've read many stories that said Hitler ignored him. Now this is quite untrue because I actually witnessed Hitler shaking hands with Jesse Owens and congratulating him on what he had achieved.
while Britain in the 1950s were struggling to even accept black immigrants who they invited over, while America was shooting down black people like dogs, which led to the rise of the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, Germany was loving black people. But the Jews, because they wanted to spin hatred against Germans, don't forget the Jews had a revolution. What's it called? Bolshevik socialist revolution. The Jews were plotting against Germany. But Jews don't do things by themselves. So tell the world that Germany hates you. You know, this master race, that, don't forget, the Jews are racist. And by using black people as their pretext to hate the Germans even more. I can show you loads of clips, hundreds of clips, thousands. In fact, what I'll do, I'll put this in the box and you can see it for yourself. We've got to be careful who we hate, because at the end of the day, there's always a bigger picture. Even I can be brainwashed. And that's the reason why you're going to keep reading and look at different sources. Because there's always an agenda. There's always somebody out there frying some goddamn fish. And it ain't good fish either. So keep your eyes open. Keep your mind alert. Don't let them brainwash you.